So these factoring identities are, in my opinion, probably the most confusing thing that this review covers in your review packet. Simply because none of these are on your reference sheet, so you'd have to memorize all of them. And two, they're just kind of tricky to get your head around anyway. But I've written all the major properties here on the top of your page. These are notes. These are not questions. These are not problems. These are just how the identities work. And notice the first one is difference of squares. So it's kind of like saying x squared plus 16 would be, or minus 16 would be x plus 4 and x minus 4. But of course, that's the one we know the best. However, all these other ones are a little bit different. But we're going to use them. We're just going to try and show you how to match them, because all you're really going to need to do on the test is match them. You don't have to solve them, you just have to match them. All right? So look at number 1. Number 1 is a difference of squares. You pay attention to the fact that it's of the form a squared minus b squared. I know it's not actually a and it's not actually b, but it's in that form because here a is the same as x and b is the same as 6, because obviously 36 is 6 squared, right? It's x squared minus 6 squared. So it's in that form, something squared minus something squared, which is what this says, okay? Which is our difference of squares. Now, the identity says that this would be equal to x plus 6, x minus 6, c. I wish I could scroll up at the same time and not have this be erased, but it's going to be erased, okay? So, and I don't want to zoom out too much, so it's too small, but it was basically what you saw in the first property. Now, number 2, x plus 2 squared. Notice what that looks like. That looks to me like this, right? Especially, obviously, this first part. So we're looking for a matching form of this nature. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Let's look to see if we can find anything like that. So if that's the case, then if this is of a plus b squared, then x is your a, right? And b is your 2. Or I guess I wrote that the other way around. But anyway, x is your a and 2 is your b. So its format, remember, was, I believe, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. That was our identity. So that would mean this would be x squared plus 2x times 2 plus 2 squared. Which is, again, basically, if you simplify it, x squared plus 4x plus 4. Okay, which is this. Okay? So be on the lookout for that. It's not the easiest thing in the world, I understand, but basically treat it like a bunch of different formulas, because that's essentially what they are. They're identities, but that means they're essentially the same as formulas. And plugging things in can help you make a little bit more sense of it. Now 3 and 4 are a little bit trickier because they're cubes, and we don't know the cubes as well as we know squares. But number 3 goes back to, and you'll see how it looks similar. I think it's like the second one here. Something a cubed plus b cubed. Now this is the identity. This is what it would equal. So we'd have to find something of that form for it to equal. Now how did I know it was a cube, by the way? Because it says x to the third power. That's sort of a giveaway. This is x to the third power, and this would be 8 is 2 to the third power. So that would mean, again, if you're using the form a to the third plus b to the third, that makes a the same as x and b the same as 2. And you're looking for it to be in whatever the identity said it was equal to. The identity was, I believe it said a plus b, and then it was a squared minus ab plus b squared. So you can plug them in and find a good match. Now, a dead giveaway, though, would be a. It's the only one in that similar format, and the difference between A and D is A's got the plus sign here, D's got the minus sign, and I know based on this identity, it would have the plus sign for that first set of parentheses. Obviously, if you plug things in, that's what you get, right? A is x and b is 2, so it'd be x plus 2 this would be x squared minus x times 2, which is the same as 2x, plus 2 squared, which you'll notice is, of course, exactly the same as a up there, right? Because 2 squared is 4 at the end. Oops, 2 squared. Okay? Let me just kind of skip down to number 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these have 2 pairs matching each. All right? So these are a little bit more realistic to, I think, well, I mean, I say realistic, but I have no idea, to be honest with you. But this is what I would feel like would be more on the test, is something of one of these 4 at the bottom here. So 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. Maybe looking at the answer choices would help a little bit, rather than trying to figure out exactly which identity we're using. But I notice, obviously, G is not going to be a match. If you want to sort of simplify these answer choices, you can. I know G would be, if I put it together, it'd be x to the 4th minus 49, which obviously there's a match for that with number 9. So that's one of the matches for number 9. Let's see. It's tricky to match, for sure. I'm trying to figure out a good way of explaining how to match them. I know what they are, but I don't know how you'd see them. If you look at K, all right, and you simplify this would be 2x squared. Now 2x squared is, you square both these, so it's 4x squared, right? If you combine this middle part together, you have, well, 2 times 2 times 5, that'd be 4 times 5, which would be 20x, and then 5 squared is 25. Of course, that's a match to what we have up here. So, I don't know, it just kind of just put things together. It's all equivalent to one another. It's just one's pieced together, one's broken apart, and you kind of go with that. Now, the reason why there's more to this is because the identity that's used for number 7 is what identity? Let me go back up here. Is this one here, I believe. It's either that one or this one. Depends if it's, depends on where that plus or minus sign was there. So let me go back down and look. Alright, so it was minus 20x, so that means it would be this one here. Okay, now I know that because I just saw the answer choice I matched it with, matched this identity, right? Let me go back and show you that. The answer choice K matches the identity a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, right? And I know that identity, based on just looking at those identities up there, is the same as a minus b squared. Okay? Which, of course, if you line things up, that makes a the same as 2x and b the same as 5. So if you're putting it back into this format, which would be a is 2x and b is 5, we have 2x minus 5 squared, which, of course, is h. So number 7 matches with h and k. You know, it's kind of hard for you to figure that out. I know we haven't really touched, we did a little bit of this stuff back with the cubes, but we never covered all of this stuff. We never had time for it. But it is just a matching game. And if you want to spend the time to work it out, you can. Because 2x minus 5 squared is 2x minus 5 done twice. So let's say you forget about all the matching and you have no clue how to match it. You can work everything out, put everything together, and still get them, and then see that they are exact matches. Because 2x times 2x would be 4x squared. 2x times negative 5 would be negative 10x. Negative 5 times 2x would be negative 10x. And negative 5 times negative 5 would be positive 25. So when you multiply them together, you're going to see that we still get 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. So I know that would match. Even if I forgot the identity, I can still do it the old-fashioned way to see that it's the same as number 7 and match them up. Okay? Obviously, same thing for k, like we did originally. So try that. If all else fails, just do your regular math and put things together. Like for L, you know, this would be 4x squared minus 9. M would be 3x plus 4 times 3x plus 4. If you have a hard time figuring out the matching identities, you can always just do the old-fashioned way and see what this comes out to and see what it matches up with. All right. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it is kind of confusing. I'll give you that. All right. But see if you can finish the rest of these. I believe you can. It's just matching. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.